Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the 12 chapters of Data on Kubernetes or DoK. And just before we go like this kid and like submerge and ourselves into the DoK world, let's start off with a quick intro of mine. So hello everyone. I'm Atharv. I'm a former DoK developer intern. I graduated with an engineering degree from India in 2022. And today I'm going to talk about this one small project of mine and in which I'm taking help of none other than our main man Bart. And for him, a quick shout out, and like I'll be wearing sunglasses just to look dope. Anyway, and this project of mine is called as 12 Chapters of DoK. And the reason why I started this project was to get a better understanding of the cloud native world, more like a deep dive for the cloud native world. And for this project, 12 chapters of DoK, I was going through a book called as Managing Cloud Native Data on Kubernetes by Jeff Carpenter and Patrick McFadden. Mind you, they both are like the true veterans of their field, and hence this book. This is what the book looks like, and trust me, this kid was honestly my first reaction ever after getting the book. And the power of the power the book carries is just like phenomenal. There's a recent DoK report 2022 about which I'll be talking shortly in the coming slides. But before that, let's learn what this project is about. And like I said, I wanted to take a deep dive into the Kubernetes world. So I asked a very dear main man, Bart, the answer about this one question, and the answer was questions. Sounds ironic, but he said, remember Atharv, no question is a stupid question. And hence this idea of asking questions, not just a question, but a series of questions. And that is what my project is about. So basically, I went through the first few chapters of the book, and here are a few of the questions that I came across while going through the first two chapters of the book. And the questions were kind of like not really easy to find answers to, or sometimes very easy to find answers to. But never mind, I still sticked on with it, because like Bart always says that questions aren't a stupid thing to ask. So that is what we are going to stick up to and like learn what are my learnings have been so far about these questions and their answers like. So before we jump up with the answers about the different questions I have faced, and like whatever like thoughts I have about it, I would like to say thanks to all the explorers and people on the DoK Slack, because like they have helped me a lot in finding the questions. Answers to these questions, and also some questions were more surfaced after I got few answers, previous answers to the earlier questions. So that is what it would be like. So let's jump into the first question that I encountered. So the first question that I encountered was, what is a database? And what was like before the electronic database systems, and what is the evolution of database systems has ever looked like after that. So let's jump into what a database looks like. So a database kind of looks like this, we are here talking about supposedly the electronic databases. So a database is an organized collection of structured information or data, typically stored electronically in a computer system. Database is usually controlled by a database management system, and together the data and the DBMS along with the applications that are associated with them are referred to as database systems, often shortened to just like the database. And data within the most common types of data bases in operation today is typically modeled in rows and columns and in a series of tables to make processing and data querying efficient. And the data can be easily accessed, managed, modified, updated, controlled, or organized. And most databases are using structured query language that is called as SQL. For instance, if you guys, I hope every one of you might be knowing about it. But what about before electronic databases? Because the second question goes around that, and so this is what certainly there was before electronic database systems. So we used to have this like sequential storage, such as magnetic tapes. There were algorithms used for organizing data into these magnetic tapes for like fast access times. And while we go about the last question around database, was what is the evolution of database ever since then? So there were various punch card formats that were also popular, allowed optimal read and writes. And then when we talk about the different orders, or like the transitions databases took, so we'll start off with the hierarchical databases. So the first generation of database management systems were hierarchical in nature and organized in a tree-like structure. This approach was used by early database systems such as IBM's information management system, that is IMS. And then in the 1970s, there was a time of relational databases. The development of relational database systems in the 1970s marked a major shift in the database technology. These systems were based off the relational model, which organizes data in tables and uses a standardized language called as SQL to query and manipulate the data. The first commercially available relational database was the Oracle database, and which was released in 1979. And ever after that, in the 1980s to 1990s, there was object-oriented databases, and then there was finally the arrival of the 2000s, that is the NoSQL databases. In the early 2000s, a new type of database known as NoSQL, short form of not only SQL, emerged. And these systems were designed to handle large amounts of unstructured and semi-structured data, and were particularly well suited for web applications and data intensive environments. And then finally, there was like another arrival that was in the 2010s, and that was of new SQL databases. In the 2010s, and a new generation of databases known as NewSQL emerged. And these systems combines the scalability and performance of NoSQL databases with the transactional consistency of the traditional relational databases. Remember the point I just like said, scalability and performance. So no wonder when we are talking about both of these terms, we are going to go cloud. And the present day is cloud databases. With the rise of cloud computing, many databases are now available in cloud-based services, which provides easy scalability and accessibility, as well as built-in backup and disaster recovery capabilities. Exactly, like disaster recovery, Atharv goes well aligned. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
So let's just like jump into the another question that I faced. Probably the last question I'll be talking about today, which I went through while working on my project. I'm still on it. There would be a series of questions ahead, and the other question is, what does a fully realized Kubernetes application looks like? Well, so before we jump into it, I would quickly like sharing this logo of DoK. And hence, I'll be talking about, I was going through this one DoK research report 2022. And one of the things that was mentioned in the reports was the issue of maturity. And how does an organization gain that so that the applications can be fully realized? But what does a really fully realized Kubernetes application looks like? And before we jump onto that, like I found the answer to that was pretty much in our community itself. And the answer to that question lies in the fact that Kubernetes was earlier built for stateless workloads. But there are a lot of practitioners that realize the true value behind running stateful workloads and K8s. And hence this community was formed, and hence the slide. Well, so I'll jump onto another slide, that is last thing first. And I asked one of the veterans about this problem. And to me, his answer was like that it is important to be cautious when vendors claimed that their solutions are production ready. And this is because what works for one production environment may not work for another. And it is important to talk customers and understand their specific needs. Kubernetes is definitely a popular technology for managing containerized applications, but it can be complex at times and difficult to fully understand. However, Kubernetes is flexible, just like us, me, and even Bart, and can be customized to meet specific needs. And overall, the paragraph, like which I went through, the author, like, or the veteran who wrote me the answer for this question, it was kind of suggesting that the importance of understanding the unique needs of each production environment is really, really necessary, and being cautious while adopting these technologies is very important as well. And this is what exactly the insights of DoK Year 2022 report suggest. The first point that the DoK 2022 report was saying was that the organizations are winning with DoK. And 2022 DoK report suggests that by running DoK workloads, organizations were able to make big gains in terms of revenue or like productivity. And then comes the second point, that like the benefits of DoK are not just limited by the organization, but the tech maturity as well. And of course, like, there are a few still challenges that we are yet to get over, but DoK has very bright future. Hopefully just like my future. And I hope I do have a bright future. Anyway, that was a
yes,
bit
you
do. Anyway, while we sum up this quite presentation of mine, I think that it was enough for today, and I really hope you all must have enjoyed. And there's a quick lesson for every explorer out there. I don't know where this clapping sounds is coming from. Never mind. But I hope you all have enjoyed. And the quick lesson about me, or like anyone for the explorer from my side, would be it's never too late. Trust me, it's never too late. And even if we are late, you can still approach the person and do the right things, because it's never too late. Just like Bart says, no question is a bad question. Remember that and stick to it. And if by any chance, if you would have liked my presentation and like want to connect with me, here are my socials down below. Atharv Karajgi is my you can find me easily on my LinkedIn and Twitter. And that's all from my side. See you.
Excellent job, Atharv. All right, absolutely nailed it. Very concise, very practical, great explanations, and I love the background as well too about databases, right?